Okay, what I put after his last two paragraphs under the 1099A, I put notice this action serves as an accord and satisfaction and payment in full, and further as a discharge of future outstanding liabilities up to the amount of, in my case, $1440.
Nice.
Okay, and I'm going to copy that and put it on the Divine Skype group right now. Well, it's there.
Just got it. Yeah.
What's the name of that PDF.com or something?
PDFescape.com. Well, that was no good. I have to redo it.
You said PDF estate, and I didn't say escape, did you?
I said escape.
Oh, escape, okay. ESCAPE. No dots in between, just all one word, PDFescape.com.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
It takes a little getting used to get past the first few screens, but just look at it carefully. Sometimes it's real easy. They have advertising over on the right, and you really need to go full screen to be able to use it conveniently.
Now, Tom, when you did your 1099A, and I'm just asking for clarity, the negative credits that Patrick outlines on the 1099 voucher, did you list did you list the credits as negative on the 1099A?
No.
Beautiful. I just want to be clear on that, how that's working with the negative credits, and I'm glad you're in the background, Patrick. Could you explain that?
On the 1099, that is for debt, okay? You're borrowing debt. Now, you have to set the debt off with credits.
Okay.
That's what you relinquish, and see, you gave them a letter of credit. Now, from the letter of credit that you gave them, you're authorizing them to take the credits and set them off against the debt that you borrowed from them. That's the fraud that they perpetrate. They give us debt in their world, in their corporate world, and we have to set it off with credits. Now, it's not credits out of our account over there at the Social Security account. It's the credits that they're writing from the bonds, the rent that they owe us. So we're going to set that off for the services that they've given us. Does that make sense to you people?
Right. They're more or less getting a tax credit, right?
I want to hear from other people, Tom.
Okay.
Okay? I want to know if there's somebody else out here besides just you and a couple other people. Okay? I want to know if there's more people. When I called in, there's supposed to be 13 people on here. I want to hear from all 13.
Yeah, the debt is set off with credits, and the credits come from the bonds that they write, but it's a set off of the credits with credits.
And see,
bonds
yeah, they have borrowed, okay? They borrowed from the Treasury.
Okay.
Okay? From the SS Treasury. Okay? The Social Security Treasury. Our Mortmain Account Treasury. That independent treasury that was set up down in Puerto Rico. Now, it had to be set up down in Puerto Rico because it's a Mortmain. It's against the laws of the United States of America. So it had to go offshore to set this process up. That's why it's down in Puerto Rico, but it's an independent treasury, and that was called out in the statutes at large in the 1920s. I've had all this information. I just didn't have all the pieces pulled together of where the players were at.
Gotcha.
Everything that I've been talking about for the last 5 years basically has been right on the money. It was just getting to the right players in the process. But we were talking about the Shipping Act. We were talking about the independent treasury. We were talking about all this stuff. At least I was in the process. We needed to have our three persons, okay? In, for, and of Christ. In Christ, okay? That's the Holy Ghost. That's your foreign grantor trust. For Christ is your estate, EIN person. That's the Son of Man or Son of God. And then of Christ. That is the fatherhead, okay? Or that is our individual banker in the process. Our three EINs, our three persons in Christ. Christ is the law that is cast in iron. Same thing that was cast in stone back in Moses' time. I tried to reiterate this. So basically, if you want to put anything on the back of your car, you're a foreign ambassador in, for, and of Christ. And then also put on your car, not for hire.
Right. Now I sent those. I sent my 1099As in today without those vouchers. I didn't know that the vouchers were supposed to go in.
Well, it's a good thing to have them. Okay.
Yeah.
It's an add-on. Okay. It's a benefit. You're telling them more information.
I got you.
In the process. And that's what I've been trying to work on here, is trying to get this stuff all ironed out so that basically it can be self-explanatory to the people that are submitting it in, and then also when they receive it.
Right.
But there's no doubt left in anybody's mind. This is covered under the Baby Act. Okay? That Social Security account was normally set up while you were underage, a baby. This is the Babylonian Empire, number 3. The one that's called out in the book of Revelation and the Apocalypse. The whore of Babylon, come out of her. Babylon, or Babyland, however you want to look at it. That's what Babylon is all about.
Habitation of devils.
Well, that's just basically they've got you under their control as a baby. You're a ward of the state while you're under a Social Security number, because basically they have all your assets in a state of Mortmain, in a dead man's account. That's why I posted those 2 documents up there about Mortmain.
Right.
Per the Declaration of Independence, there was never supposed to be any Mortmains in this country. And it even calls out in some of the early statutes at large. If you go in and do a word search, download the statutes at large, and do a word search in the PDF system for Mortmain, you'll find some of this stuff. Word search is what the computers are really there for. They're not for games or anything like that. It takes a 100,000-page document, and basically it can word search for you. You don't have to read the whole damn deal. That's what the damn computers are for. To speed up the knowledge process, the search and everything for you. Utilize the computers for what they are. Stay off the internet most of the time. Because basically the internet will continue to download and show other damn programs and viruses and everything else on your computer. So, we got the Baby Act. We got the Mortmain, that they're operating in Mortmain. That's a violation of the law, okay? For the statutes of large and also for the Declaration of Independence. We got rid of the original 13th Amendment that basically was trying to take away our title of nobility. We have two titles of nobility. We are a prince of the land, and we are an ambassador in Christ, of Christ and for Christ. That's the real law. That's the ambassador that we are. We're an ambassador for the real law that is cast in iron. And then in the Constitution, it states right in there that basically an ambassador has to go to an Article 3 court. He doesn't go to one of these corporate courts. You are not a domestic. You are not an inhabitant. You are not a resident. You are domiciled upon the land. An inhabitant is an office holder in a government corporation or in a corporation. A resident is an employee of that corporation. That's what they really mean in those terms. So all the stuff on the IRS forms, and then they always have under penalty of perjury on there. That's total bullshit. You can line those out and initial and say, basically, I don't fall under this bullshit. That only applies to fictions. Also, you're coming in under confession and avoidance. You're confessing that you owe this debt and that you're processing the set-off of it. Now, if they don't do it, they're the ones that are in violation of the law. You offered settlement, just like in the movie Merchant of Venice. The Jew in there was offered payment once and then payment twice fold. And he refused it. He wanted a pound of flesh. He wanted control. He didn't care about the money. He wanted the power, the control. That's what all these damn corporate government officials want. They want to control you. They want the power.
What?
They want to throw you in prison. That's what they want. This was never supposed to be a debtor's prison in this country. I said that from the get-go, that basically it's right there in the first volume of the Statutes at Large. That basically, if anybody was in debt and the court did not settle it, you petition the Secretary of the Treasury to draw from the we the people's treasury and set off the debt. And I've said this for almost 4 damn years. So it's nothing new. It's in the Statutes at Large. You can look up and do a search by the word insolvency or insolvent. And it's in the first volume of the Statutes at Large. There's a lot of good information in the Statutes at Large if people just would look for the damn shit and stop going to all this other bullshit and all these fraudulent gurus out here that have got everybody going every damn different way possible, and then they keep doing the same damn thing over and over and over again. Just by that fact alone, you ought to know that there's something wrong with them. If they haven't got the forethought to think up of something new and try and go a different direction when they've been trying to go one direction for 3 years and not get a damn thing done, except argue with the court and basically go to jail and basically all this other garbage, you ought to know that there's something wrong with that damn guy. We've got cases out here that we've won, okay, outright. Set these things off, especially lately, with that Baby Act and with confession and avoidance and with the estoppel by deed, and then basically also coming in as an ambassador. That the court does not have jurisdiction over us. No state court has jurisdiction over you if you stand in the capacity as an ambassador of Christ. It has to be settled by an Article 3 court per the Constitution. Of course, that's something else that nobody knows how to read, is the damn Constitution. Just like the Bible, they don't know how to read it and interpret it.
Question, Patrick.
Yes.
When you get that summons, when you get that subpoena to come to court, now I understand what you're saying about you stand on your square that you're an ambassador of Christ, but when you get that, how do you respond? Okay, you're saying ignore the summons or the subpoena? How do you respond to that when you get it? When it comes to your door, how do you show that, hey, I'm an ambassador of Christ? I'm not adhering to this crap.
You come in and basically you stand there and basically say, hey, I'm coming into this court and I'm an ambassador of Christ. You carry your Bible with you. You carry your baptismal certificate. You carry your certificate of live birth as your certificate of birth, your birth certificate. Gotcha. In there.
Gotcha.
And basically, you have offered settlement with them, okay? You take that, if you get a traffic ticket or something like that, or you get a tax bill or anything out here, you turn around and you do this bill set off. You do a 1099-A against them, okay?
Okay.
It's in your name, your fictional person's name, okay? Last name first in the corporate world, because they're going after a dead man. So you've got to go to the cemetery plot and find the dead man family first, then you find the individual in the family plot. Care of the court, care of the Internal Revenue Service, care of the hospital, care of whoever, the utility company.
Gotcha.
You've got the account number, you got the case number, that goes down below on the form. Like what I had up there for my hospital bill set off. That fictional person is really the guarantor. All of these companies out here, corporations, are operating as a fidelity and guarantee company. We gave them a signature. That created a fidelity policy, an insurance policy. And then that allowed them to write bonds against the credit that we just gave them by our signature, allowing the funds to come out of our Mortmain, or not come out, but basically be attached to our Mortmain account, because everything has to be operated out here against the Social Security. They get your Social Security number in numerous different ways. Your name, last name first, then your first name and middle name, and then date of birth, or Social Security number, or driver's license number, which is attached to your Social Security number, or your date of birth number. They're all the same. How many digits are there in a date of birth?
9.
8.
2, 4, and 8. Yep.
2 for the month, 2 for the day, and 4 for the year. But they can attach that to the individual that basically has that Social Security number, the entity, the Mortmain entity. Because the probability is very, very high that the same name person would have that same birthday. See, it's all in numbers. That's how they operate in most cases. But they all operate in last name first. All their forms, everything that they ever do, sign up. You're putting your last name first. Look at some of your receipts. If you have a credit card or a debit card, and basically it prints out your name on that receipt, it will show your last name first. Even the bank has the account name is really under your last name, then your first name. Because they're operating with a dead man's account. That's not a living person's account.
Right.
That's why you always, on your checks, you're signing as the authorized representative for the dead. See how all this stuff fits in here? It's all right here if you just slow down and think about this stuff. Read those documents that I put. I put a lot of extra information on there that we're sending down there, like on that voucher. Paragraph number 3 on there. That will be basically our basis when we come in and terminate a Social Security account down there with the Secretary of Treasury. But I was trying to get you into the process of going and shutting down some of the debt individually for like one item, okay? Take all your utility bills, send them in, cancel that all out. Get the reimbursement from your account. See that this works.
Right.
Before you go for the big kill. You're coming in on a rubber raft, and you can only take so much out of the damn gold pot there. So you got to get a little funds out so you can come back with a bigger boat.
Yes, sir.
So you can handle taking all the shit out.
Absolutely.
And have it ready to be protected when you get it out. You go after it all in one shot, and basically you'll lose it all in one shot because you're not prepared. And that was the mentality of all these government officials was, well, the people, they couldn't handle this anyway. How many movies has that brought out in?
Right.
That the people can't handle it. So basically, we'll take care of it for them. What's the latest movie out now? Tomorrowland or something?
Got me on that one.
I don't keep track of movies, new ones.
I mean, you ought to, because basically, with all the fast information, this is coming to a head here at the end. Basically, we're trying to put the information out there as fast as possible to get you people to think.
True. Okay.
This letter you did for the banking order for Mortmain credit redemption settlement, you identify near the end, I think this is the last paragraph, the fiduciary is submitting the attached redress credit claiming documents against the United States Independent SS Mortmain Treasury. Now, are there certain accounts that we should be listing there, Patrick?
Is there what?
Are there certain accounts, like I know you talked about the DD 214, that being one, and like your Social Security account, that's one. That's one Mortmain, the DD 214, and
no, the DD 214 is attached to the Social Security. Okay.
All right.
It shows it right on the DD 214. They basically deposited that DD 214 under the Social Security number, so it's all so. Most people that have had military service, they're going to have a bigger account, Mortmain Social Security account, than somebody that never served.
Gotcha.
Okay? And see, it had to be that way so that the Defense Department could utilize those Mortmain accounts, that Social Security Mortmain account down there, the Veterans Administration and everybody else. And then they turn around and they fraudulently won't pay the damn insurance. All hospital bills, everything is supposed to be prepaid. But they turn around, well, what insurance do you have? What insurance do you have?
Right.
I got that damn Mortmain account. Okay? And you're writing bonds off against it. So basically, and then you turn around and just look at your bills sometimes. It calls out right on the bill, guarantor. It's not you on there as the guarantor, it's your fictional person. And he now has an account there with the hospital. Because the hospital had bonds written against that. You gave them a signature. You signed in to the hospital. Or for the medical checkup or whatever. That's one of the first things they get you to do is sign. Why? Because they need your letter of credit. Your authorization.
Patrick, I got a question.
Yeah.
How you feel about the bill of exchange, the negotiating instrument?
The what?
The bill of exchange.
Speak up a little more and a little clearer and softer, or forceful, so I can hear you, okay?
The negotiable instruments versus the 1099As. How you feel about that?
Well, basically, your receipt is a negotiable instrument. Okay? Or when you get ready to close it down, when you surrender, you're surrendering a negotiable instrument. You're surrendering that receipt back to them. You paid for that out of your back pocket. Now, what you're surrendering down to, when you go to Puerto Rico, you're surrendering that receipt over to them so that you cannot go back to the company and claim that amount of money back. You say, I paid for it, I'm satisfied, I'm done with them, okay? Now I'm going to draw the funds out of my Mortmain account, but I'm giving you a voucher that you as the Treasury have to ensure that the company that this receipt is from pays you the rent that is due and the income taxes that are due. See, we don't owe any income tax. It's the companies that owe the income tax. We are not an employee of that company.
Well,
okay.
That's not what the light company said today. You know, I did a 1099 in May. They paid for June, July, and August, and September, and now they want to turn the lights out because the Treasury Department said there's no funds there.
Did you do the way I addressed it there? The 1099A with your account name at the very top, care of that utility company.
Yep,
The Social Security number is basically the lender's number. Okay? Then your EIN number as you were the borrower, and then that utility company account number down below the borrower's address, and that you were setting this off for that amount of those bills that you owed. Okay? You do not need to pay that back, so don't mark that box. Okay? Now, you take and put the bill that they have, put the notation on the front of the bill, and then do the endorsement on the back and make it a negative value. You're giving them or releasing credits that they're holding back to them so that they don't have to pay those credits back to the Treasury. You sign and date it, you put your thumbprint, and then you emboss that, if you got an embosser, but you send that in to them by certified mail. You don't hand carry that in, you send it in by certified mail.
No, I mailed a regular mail.
You've got to get it under certified mail. Okay? Because you've got to get confirmation that it was delivered. And by regular mail, you do not have confirmation it was ever delivered. And they will lie like shit. We never received that. We never received that.
Yeah.
That's the game they play. They're liars from the get-go. Jesus even said that. Well, quite a few of the prophets said that, really.
Okay.
But talk to several of these people that are on the group. Lawrence did that with his water bill. He added another $1,000 of credit, giving it over to them. Basically, he owed $1,700, so he made it out for like $2,700 credits, negative credits that he gave to him. So now they have 1,000 credits on the book, so that the next bill that comes down for $150, all they have to do is take it off that 1,000 credits there. Now he's left with 850 negative credits. That's just the same way that I did with the gas company I've got. I went up and I put $3,000 on deposit with them. It turned out that it was a negative $3,000 in their accounting system. I've got their account showing that. And then when they have a bill come in, they just add that bill to the negative, and basically it becomes less negative. So I've still got 800 and negative 800 credits on the book with them. I don't owe them $800. I've got $800 sitting there. You've got to look at these bills and see what's actually being said on them.
Patrick?
Yes.
When you go into the hospital or something like that, and they want your name first thing and your birthday, could you use an EIN number instead of your Social Security number?
No.
Okay.
You give them the Social Security number because that's the Mortmain account that they need to draw the funds from. Now, you can take basically a certificate of live birth, your baptismal certificate, and endorse it over to them to release that amount of credits. Like that one guy up in Michigan did.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he had to do. He had to release the credits to them. Whatever it takes, I will release that amount of credits so that you're paid as soon as I walk out of the hospital. He got private room, private nurses, the whole shooting match. Top of the line treatment. So like he's a VIP. They knew they were going to get their credits, that they were going to be paid. He didn't have a credit card. He didn't have anything else. He had his birth certificate. I don't even think he had any 1099As. You see where I'm coming on all this?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Just think about this. You're supposed to be a creator. You're a god. Now act like a god and start creating some shit. I mean, some good shit, not the other. That's not a creation. That's just a disposal.
Elimination, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
At least the lady laughed.
But Patrick, you can only do 1 1099A per month.
Huh?
You can only do 1 1099A per month.
No. You can do 100 of them. But
No,
they
that's 3176 because I received a letter today from
That's
IRS. You can't do that. That you're going to get a letter 3176. Look up the code. I received
3176.
Yes.
What's that for?
That's frivolous filer.
No, you're not going to get that, okay?
Yes, I did. I got the letter. You want me to read it to you?
No, you're not going to get that when you do this right.
Yeah.
Okay? You're not sending it. You're going to be sending it into the foreign domiciled IRS department in Austin, Texas. You're not going to go to the run-of-the-mill, to the resident office. See, they're only sending those frivolous filings out to residents.
Wait a minute. I thought you said it goes to 1099A's goes to Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
The C copy does, but the A copy goes to where you'll send it in not to Austin, the regular Austin office, or Kansas City. You're going to send it into the foreign office because you are not a resident of the state you're in. You're not a company employee.
No.
That's the problem. That's the problem then. That's a crucial detail right there. The A, the reds. So you're saying the reds are going to one place and the copies are going someplace else?
Yes, the C copy goes to either the court, the biller, okay, whoever bills you, or to you're going to send it down to your account down in Puerto Rico. That's the C copy. You keep the B copy, and the A copy, the red copy, will go to San Antonio, but it's going to the foreign domiciled tax department. You put that on there. You're a foreign domicile. You're not a resident. See, you're a non-resident, really. And you're a foreign domicile.
That's the first time I heard. I've been listening to 4 calls. That's the first time I ever heard that information right there. Now, I may have missed it, but I have never heard you say that before.
Yeah, I tried to get into that last Sunday night. Okay.
Yeah, this all new.
So that means
I probably didn't explain it quite right when I was trying to talk about it on Sunday night's call, but I know I was trying to address that, or maybe I addressed it to somebody else earlier there during the day. I don't know. How I get going all over the place.
So now, if we've already sent to San Juan, should we send corrected copies to those?
No.
You just
no. See, I took those boxes off.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no corrections on the top of those forms that I sent to you today.
Wow.
Oh,
Is there?
Hey. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me check mine. Let me see something.
Yeah. Willie, check yours.
All right.
The ones I had up there the other day, I think I still had to correct it, and boxes up there at the very top. But the latest ones, I'm pretty sure I took them off.
Okay.
I even took the OMB number off.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I said, piss on it. This is my damn form now. I'm making up this damn thing.
Right.
You'll use mine because I'm a foreign domestic. I'm not a resident. I don't need your form because I'm not a resident.
Gotcha.
Only residents have to use their forms.
Damn. Yeah, mine still has that up there. Okay.
Yeah, and then see, you can even line out that penalty of perjury on the things. I'm not a resident, So basically, this statement does not apply to me. I live by the real law in Christ.
Exactly.
My word is my word. I don't need some fraudulent attorney general or something like that coming in there and trying to play word games in the damn process, trying to say, well, you committed treason or something like that because you signed this. That's bullshit. You got to know who you are. They are the public servants. We are not their servants. Get that through your mind, people. They work for us. They owe us rent.
Got that one?
Mm-hmm. They owe us.
Yes. They owe us. We don't owe a damn thing to them.
Got that right.
Their damn job could close down tomorrow, and we still don't owe them anything.
All right, then.
Okay, Patrick, so in case I receive one of those frivolous filings, now I just go ahead and send the same information to the information that you just gave on the call tonight.
Basically, you do the same thing that I did with the damn postal inspector when he came down here and basically had a 4-inch binder and a 1-inch binder of all the damn letters and everything else that I'd sent out, using 3-cent stamps, using my own stamps and everything else, trying to get me to say, hey, did you do this? And I said, yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
He went through each document trying to get me to say yes. And I said, hey, let's just stop here. I did every one of those things in those books. Now, take me to court, please. I want to go to court. End of subject.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard another damn thing from him. That was the postal inspector. They were trying to get me on mail fraud. That would have been jail time.
Sure.
No.
Yeah. How come I'm still walking around out here? Because I stood my ground. I knew what the shit I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Tim.
Mm-hmm.
There was even 2 marshals there. And they didn't have jurisdiction to arrest me either.
Damn, you brought the marshals with it?
Oh yeah, 2 marshals and a postal inspector, and they were basically set up there to try and arrest me. And I went in the sheriff's office there, and I walked right out of the sheriff's office. In fact, I was joking with the deputies on the way out.
He's a bad boy.
Yeah, I don't take any shit off these people anymore.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing, and you got to know what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to tell people. You need to get some court time. Go in there and sit down and listen to some of these cases, just to get over the hump of being scared to death of these damn shitheads that are inside the damn cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they are. They're just grave diggers in the damn cemetery.
Walking dead.
Yeah, caretakers. And see, you don't even belong in those courts.
They're working for the government, and they walking around dead, too.
Yeah. The state has no jurisdiction over you in their laws. The only thing that the state has jurisdiction over is corporations.
Yeah, we're a corporation.
That's it. Read the constitutions.
Patrick, she said something else too in the letter that she received back from them. She said that they said that there was nothing in the account. So now I'm trying to parse this information because I remember you saying that another student had sent was getting ready to purchase a car, but they said the guy confirmed the account had the funds in it. So I'm trying to parse what she received and what the other woman who used the same process received.
The account needs to be addressed, the Social Security account. If you're using a Social Security account, it's the one at San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's not at the Federal Reserve Bank here in this country. There is no money in an account here in this country that you have.
Got you.
Okay? Except at the real treasury under your birth certificate out of Philadelphia. But you need to collapse the Social Security one first before you go to the main treasury account. You need to go after the independent treasury account first. Now, you also have, under all the courts, under all the hospital, under the driver's license, under the marriage license, under the state voter registration license, under all of these, under your certificate of title to your vehicle, under the certificate of title to your house, those are all individual accounts under that account number. Not the Social Security number, but it's under a different account number. And that's under the fidelity and guarantee. We are the guarantee in this process. Our fictional person that they have the account name on is the guarantor. And then they are the insurer to see that it is properly settled. And see, that's what they don't do out here, and that's why in any court case you bring up that confession and avoidance. You confess, yes, I owe this debt, but I tried to set it off. They are the ones that have avoided the set-off. Just like that Jew refused payment twice in the Merchant of Venice. When he found out he couldn't take one drop of blood, basically, oh, well, I'll take the gold then. And basically, what's your name? That was playing the guy, the man of law, turned around and said, nope, you refused it twice. Therefore, you're not entitled to it the third time. You're out. And see, that's what, in this confession and avoidance doctrine, you put that plea into the court, and basically, they've got to have clean hands, and they don't. Because they never properly gave you, they sent you a bill, but they never told you how to set that bill off, did they?
Hell no.
So they got dirty fucking hands.
Beautiful.
It's that damn simple. I hope I explained it. This is about the third time I've gone over that in the last 3 calls.
They got dirty hands.
Yeah. And basically, if they are negligent in the process, then they are not entitled to settlement. It's just like in an automobile collision out here. Both parties were basically negligent in the process of that collision. Therefore, you can't hold one party responsible for the negligence of another party. And see, that was part of his write-up that I put up there about that self-insurance. We don't need insurance. We need to stand on our own 2 feet and start defending our actions.
We don't need insurance.
No, insurance is the destroyer of this country. It's not the bankers, but it is the bankers because insurance is their key MO. It's not the Federal Reserve dollars, it's insurance, the bonds. Who's got all the damn money? The insurance and the banks. Who's got all the new buildings? The insurance companies and the banks. Who's the government kiss ass on? The insurance companies and the banks. Any other questions?
Well, it's basically the insurance that's unjust usury.
You got to speak up. I can't hear you.
Oh, I was just making a comment, Thomas, that the insurance is the unjust usury.
Part of it.
It's all usury, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Now, this endorsement that you're talking about, Patrick, this endorsement is supposed to go on each and every receipt that you sent in?
No. All you have to do is sign across the front on the receipt, your name, okay?
Okay.
And see, you're surrendering them. So by just signing your name across those, basically you've attached yourself to that receipt. Nobody else can use that receipt now. And you're giving it up.
Beautiful.
Okay? But you put it down in the letter, okay? Or you put a invoice, or you take an adding machine and you add up all, like with one of those little printouts.
Mm-hmm.
You get one of those paper printouts, and you just add up all the ones, and then put that piece of paper in there and sign that piece of paper along with all your signed receipts. Stick that in there and say, here's the total. And you're just putting that in as a draw against your Mortmain account, pulling the funds out. Thereby, you're canceling the debt, and then you're also getting the independent treasury to go to that company and get their payment back that they're due. Because, see, all these companies had to borrow money. At the end of the year, and I said this over and over again, probably 20 or 30 times a year for about the last 5 years, a corporation has to zero its books at the end of the year. So where do they get the operating capital? They have to do a trade acceptance or a bank acceptance to borrow the money. The trade acceptance is normally run through the Federal Reserve Bank against the employees with a W-4 form or the customers' accounts back down to that Mortmain accounts that are held down there in Puerto Rico. They put a lien against those accounts as a collateral lien, and then they write the bonds to either the Bureau of Public Debt or the state insurance divisions in the process. And then the company gets the money for that so that they can operate for the year. Now they get money coming back into the company So they have to pay rent for the usage of that money that they borrowed. So your amount of money is sitting there as credits with your signature. You just have to release those credits back to them so that they don't have to pay it back to the Treasury. It's that damn simple.
Okay. So now these are now I have over like 1,200 receipts. So sign them all, send them with a 1099-A with the total in the box, and to those addresses that you mentioned, and that's it.
Yeah, you send it down to Puerto Rico, and you're going to draw from your dead man's account your last name, first name, care of the Secretary of Treasury down there under a Social Security number, and then the account number down at the bottom is going to be your Social Security without any dashes. Okay? That's the debt that you borrowed. So you borrowed the debt out of that account. Now you're going to release the credits because you paid out of your back pocket. You paid the debt already out of your back pocket. Now what you're going to do is come in and get compensation from your dead man's account because he was the one that was supposed to be paying it, not you. Okay? So you're going to draw it from him. You're putting the onus upon him now to give you the credits back that he should have been paying all along. Because in this country, we are supposed to be the assured.
Beautiful. Now I got it. Now, how far does this go back, Patrick? How far can we go back on this in years?
Just try and get some thing that you can handle right now, okay? Don't worry about the whole thing, okay?
I got you.
Don't go back. You don't need to worry about going back 20, 30 years, okay?
Right.
There is no statute of limitation upon fraud and upon taxes, okay? We know that. So you can go back to the very beginning if you wanted to. But
don't do that.
Basically, when you get your funds to where you can basically get out of the little rubber boat that you're going in there and pulling this out, like maybe $2,000-3,000.
Yes.
Now you can get a bigger boat, go back there and pull out $100,000 or so.
I got you.
And then basically you get a bigger boat, and now you can go down there and take the whole damn thing out, and you're not going to sink trying to roll away.
Exactly.
And bring it back into this country. Watch the movie Pirates of the Caribbean again, the initial one.
Ooh.
But you need to have, and you send also your fiduciary Form 56F over your estate EIN person, and then your individual banker is also going to be the fiduciary over this Social Security person. So on that one, you're going to fill out the Form 56 for him. And your individual banker is going to be the fiduciary over both of those.
Okay.
And see, that's the individual, that's the banker's, or the EIN, the tax identification number, that basically was needed in Jupiter Ascending, was the individual banker's EIN to become the fiduciary over all three accounts: Social Security, estate, and foreign grantor trust.
Beautiful.
Two of them are using the Form 56F, and the Social Security one is using just the Form 56.
Okay.
At least that's the way I look at it.
And we got examples of those in the directory, correct?
They should be all over the place up there.
The 56F is the individual banker and the estate executor.
Okay.
No, he's basically over the estate EIN person.
Okay, estate EIN and And the
foreign grantor trust person.
Okay.
He's the fiduciary, okay? He's not the executor. You don't use the word executor.
Okay. Well, but yes. So the 56 is for the estate and foreign grantor trust EINs, and then the F is
the 56, plain 56, I think, is for the Social Security account. The 56F is for the estate and the foreign grantor trust. And then the individual banker is the fiduciary on all three of them.
Okay, got it.
I have a question.
Ask it. But speak up.
Okay, the question on the coupon endorsement that we did for the Federal Reserve. I mean, I know they have to be modified for Puerto Rico, but in the middle part of it where it says Reserve Banking Obligation of Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia.
Forget that Philadelphia for right now. Just worry about going after the Social Security account down in Puerto Rico.
All right.
With the Secretary of Treasury, okay? Put everything about the Federal Reserve banks on the back burner, please.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
New folder time.
Yeah.
You've got millions of dollars in that damn Social Security account, that Mortmain account down there in Puerto Rico.
Damn.
Yep.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty new to this. How do I get an EIN number?
Oh, my God.
Okay. Those are on the call, and basically Tom can tell you where basically those are at on the group site there. Go ahead, Tom.
I think what I'll do is I'll have a new call where we go through that again because it came up, and we're not exactly sure what the data was of the last call we did. But we did about a call just looking at the SS4 and your summary form, and then talking through the online. We didn't go into any more theory than that.
Okay.
So we'll schedule that.
Now those files are on We the People site, okay, Yahoo group, and they're also on econcurrent.com/divine in the files.
Right.
And the latest files are normally in the higher number, like 36 or 34, 35, in those folders that begin with those numbers.
Right.
And then you've also got the audios in another folder or in another directory there in eConcurrent.
I call calls.
I do have the files.
What was that?
I do have the files.
Okay.
Yep.
And basically you should have the templates for going after the state EIN, foreign grantor trust EIN, and then basically my composite one that basically I did summary sheet for the individual banker. And you do that one online, and basically so when you get to that summary sheet, before you hit enter and submit, you make sure that all the information is pretty much identical or close to being identical of what I had on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That summary sheet is on May 1st in the current folder, and the SS4 that's relevant was on April 28th.
Mm.
What about the 56?
Yeah, they're there somewhere.
They're further back. They're
not that hard. Read the instructions on them, okay? That's what you people need to do is read, okay?
Yep.
Stop just going by these templates that basically I put out here. You're supposed to read the damn things and understand what you're putting down.
Yes, yes.
And then ask the questions.
Yeah, because if you don't have the understanding.
they're going to turn around and they're going to eat you alive in any damn court because you're not prepared. Any other questions?
Patrick, on that about your cover sheet, you have 3 receipts there. As it was on that submission that you only turned in 4 receipts, and then you gave the numbers on the receipts.
Yeah. I had 4 receipts. Okay.
Yeah. And so if we had, go ahead.
Okay.
So if we have more receipts, we just do one of your spreadsheet worksheets, mention that and include that in.
Yeah, or basically take an adding machine with that roll and just add them up. Okay, give a total. Okay, put that printout after you scan it and everything for the total, so you don't have to scan all the receipts. But I try and always keep a copy of what you're going to submit in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I scanned all those 4 receipts so that I have them, a copy of them of what I submitted into them.
Good.
But otherwise, if you have 100 receipts, you're not going to list them all there. But you can just do a summary with an adding machine tape and staple that to the receipts. After you sign each one of the receipts, just sign your name. You don't need to do anything else. That is basically when you sign your name to them, you're voiding them out. Nobody else can use them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you can go down to Walmart and go through the Dipsy dumpsters and pull in all the receipts you want. Just don't use ones that have credit cards on them.
Right, you got to be cash.
You can't use somebody else's account.
Right.
But if somebody paid cash out of it, threw the receipt away, basically you can grab it and you can go in and cancel that debt off the books.
Right.
Don't do that.
You become a millionaire going through Walmart's Dipsy dumpsters.
Don't do that. You're crazy.
Yeah. I'm telling you how to go about the right way. All these other gurus are got everybody following them. Oh, yeah, we're going to go after the dinar. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. You're going to become a millionaire watching this damn dinar, some fucking foreign currency, go up. Right. Come on, give me a goddamn break. How damn stupid can you people be when you follow some idiot like that? That's just like going out and buying a bunch of penny stocks. Yeah, maybe 1 out of 100 penny stocks you'll ever make a real killing on.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say, there's a fucking born every minute.
Yeah. And I can speak from experience.
Huh.
Because I've done all the shit that I've ever said. Okay, any other questions?
how does putting out estoppel without getting it recorded benefit us in the, let's say, I mean, I got stopped today and I hand the officer my document saying woo 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 woo, and he say fuck you, I'm gonna send you to jail. You know, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to avoid those situations at all costs. That's what I'm doing all this for in the first place, right or wrong.
Okay. Let me ask you, do you still have a driver's license?
It's revoked. It's been revoked for like 50 years. But no, I don't actually have one physically anymore, no.
They revoked your license?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a certificate of title on the vehicle?
No. It's somebody else's vehicle.
Okay. But that is registered to the state.
Of course.
Okay. You got to have permission from them relinquishing you and giving you the authority to drive that vehicle, to operate that vehicle. Otherwise, you're still under state control. Okay? See, the state has an insurance policy on that vehicle. And if it's also under warranty with the manufacturer out there, then the manufacturer has a claim on that vehicle also. See, on the vehicle that I just bought, the state and Ford Motor Company, neither one of them have a claim on this vehicle. I have an identification card from the state, but I don't have a driver's license. See, I put myself into a completely different scenario. That's what you need to work to. But you need to get yourself into that position first. And then in any court case, you just turn around and basically if they give you a ticket, you just do the bill set off. The 1099A, put the endorsement on the front or the endorsement on the back of it and the statement on the front of it. And give them that amount back, the payment. But double check and see if there's an appearance bond on there, and then you put down the full amount for the appearance bond that's on there, and then they have to give you money back. Because the appearance bond is always more than the ticket itself is. Okay?
Yeah. Patrick, I asked that question because I called Arizona today to get my documents processed through them, and the lady said, she told me specifically that whatever it was I was trying to do, that they were going to record it in the public venue. And I was, specific that I wanted to record it in the private, and she said, ain't no way we can do nothing like that.
Estoppel by deed, you don't need to have it recorded. This is a private document. You want to be in the private. We got to stay away from the public out here. Okay? Now, I've got my document. It's recorded. But it's also a private document. Okay? It's my document. I didn't need to have it recorded. It was a plus that I did, but I don't need it, okay? It stands up a little more that I did notify somebody, but I didn't need to have it. You have a copy with you when you're driving around. You keep the original in your files.
Right.
Now, when in any court, they want to see those documents, say, you've got to have proof. What reason do you need to see the original? And we're going to an Article 3 court because you don't have jurisdiction over the living. And my individual banker, my estate EIN person, and my foreign grantor person, they're all my living person. They're operating in, for, and of the law cast in iron, or Christ. And you don't have jurisdiction over that law system. You only have jurisdiction over codes of law, color of law. And I don't fall under your codes. I'm foreign to that. That's what Daniel did back in the book of Daniel. And also the three stooges.
Hebrew.
You guys comprehend all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and talk. I got to put my mom to bed.
Okay, good night.
Okay.
Hey, what that dude's name was talking?
Patrick.
Patrick.
That was Patrick. Yes. So anything else you guys want to talk about?
Patrick, you couldn't get the estoppel deed recorded in your state?
No. This is Yasharan. This is not Patrick. No, I couldn't get it recorded in my state. Everybody's on pins and needles whenever they see my face trying to do anything.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how to get it recorded. Do a non-UCC filing on top of it and record it. Sandwich it. Like put that document on top and put the estoppel behind it, and they'll record it.
Record it with, you talking about with my county recorder?
Yeah. Just put that non-UCC filing on top of it.
I was told another way you could do it is do a rescission of the power of attorney. It doesn't make any difference who you're rescission you're doing it for, and just put your estoppel behind that.
Okay,
cool.
The non-UCC, I'm a little bit familiar with that, but I mean, what's the dialogue that goes into it?
I'll go find an example somewhere.
I know that's a stretch, but I had to ask.
Yeah, I hereby rescind the power of attorney from somebody.
But that's what I did. I did a non-UCC filing and put it in there. And
they took it with no problem, no debate or none of that. No problem whatsoever. Wow, the people that anyway, you can't do this. I mean, you can't be considered as property. You can't be this. You can't be that. We can't record it that way. We have no way of filing it. The state's attorney came in and he looked through it, and then they called 2 or 3 deputies in there to inquire about what I was trying to do, and then they detained me for about 25 minutes on this and talking shit about what I can't do and I can't this, that, and the other. And dude, show me the law and tell me that I can't do what it is I'm doing, and then I get the FUCK up out of here. Well, we're not going to go. We're not going to take the time to show you anything. I mean, what you're trying to do is it's not lawful. It's at the end of the day. Man, I was in there heated, and then the police officer was gonna grab me because I tried to go in my backpack to write down all this rhetoric they were trying to tell me so I could go over their head after I left there. It was just a whole bunch of shit, man.
Hey, we've gone through that too, man. We had a clerk say, "Isn't that in the yellow code book?" Because she was calling a code yellow, which means call the cops, and all of a sudden there was like 8 to 10 cops in the lobby.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all scared. Hey, I've got some information that the law that says that they have to file what you give them.
I already know what you're talking about. It's 5203, I believe it is.
I think it's more
right.
like Title 18.
They have to file an affidavit. If they don't, you can bust their ass with it. I just got it 2 days ago.
You got some law that says so?
Yes, yes.
What is it?
50. Well, let me go get it so I can. So I mean, just
yeah, and I'll get your email and I'll send you what I have, and you can send me what you have.
All right, I will. My email address is YAH.
Wait a minute. Y, you like Yankee, right?
Yeah.
Yankee Alpha Hotel.
SHA. RUN. Yes, at yahoo.com. Yasharon at yahoo.com.
Yasharon at yahoo.com. Okay. I'll find my document.
Thanks, Steve. I'm gonna post it on the site tomorrow.
Okay.
Mean in the group?
Yeah, you're on the group. Yeah, in the conversation thing, however you put it on there.
Okay.
Steve, you ever tried any of those 1099As? You ever tried to send any in?
Not yet. I'm learning the Roman law stuff and learn how to do the estoppel by deed with the Roman law, stuff in it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've done the estoppel, but it was kind of a tricky situation. The courts rolled over me, but I'm going to do like an appeal and go to an Article 3 court.
Okay.
But I still want to get an audio because I said all that stuff about that the certificate of title had a fidelity and guarantee assurance, and it was a breach of their fiduciary not to take care of the matter.
Wow.
I think I might have even said something about the appearance bond, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to get an audio of what I said in court. It blew their mind that, we know that much.
Okay.
But we're getting better every week, it's getting more solid in our mind even, it's like...
That's my whole thing. I'm like...
Patrick's kind of frustrated how fast we learn, but, it's like a lot to learn every week, I know we're getting it. It's just like, we just have to have it roll off our tongue and just get out of this brainwashed head we have.
More interaction. He wants us to ask questions and to say comments more. He wants us to get out there and do this stuff too,
Yeah, but every week it changes and we got to do it right, and we don't want to be doing a bunch of stuff, a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't mind not doing it so fast because usually we have major corrections, the following week. I mean, right now we're kind of leveling off and holding our altitude right now.
Right.
He's doing refinements which aren't that hard to accomplish.
Right.
But you learn from the mistakes you make. I mean, that's what I've been doing.
Well, yeah.
Because I was scared to death. Because I had to. I mean, going to court at the beginning of this thing, man. You just once again the same situation I explained about what they did when I tried to file my stuff is all the same problems I've been having for the last 5 years with the same goddamn court.
They're at war with us. I filed this. Go ahead.
Why you want to take your live birth certificate to court with you? And
I
then
did
all
that too. That was the very first thing I ever tried. And the and the judge told me to. I mean, we didn't make a long story short. I was on my square and all that stuff. Woo woo woo. I even recited some USC something at that time. Then the judge told me to take it down to the circuit clerk's office. I went down there to take it to the clerk's office. He didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
What?
Well, they want to cash it. They want you to give it to them so they can go cash it. It's a check. It's
right,
a coupon.
right. They was testing you. That was a test right there. You didn't pass the test. That's why you still going on with what you do. Because if you knew how to stand on the square, you would have been out of there, and that would have been done and over with.
That's exactly.
So you didn't know what you was doing.
Yeah. I mean, ain't no doubt about that. That's exactly what happened.
They got boxes in there that scramble your brain. They got microwave boxes in there that look like cameras, and it makes your chest muscles wiggle and everything. They got weird stuff going on in there. You can't even think in there. They scramble you.
Yeah, because I took my daughter's birth certificate to the Internal Revenue Service, and her levy went away just by that birth certificate.
Yeah, but you didn't have to give it to her. You just showed it to her, right?
I mean, but even
no, I had to say some stuff with it though, and it went away.
I mean, but
and we didn't have to go back up there. We just had to make one trip, and that was it.
I need to ask this question because I'm curious because I haven't done it yet, but I'm probably gonna do it real soon. It's like a house. I want to get a house or something and some land. I mean, what kind of dialogue can you have with the real estate people to do this the way we trying to do it?
Get an invoice.
Okay, get an invoice from them?
Yeah.
From the seller, yeah. Get a bill of sale.
Yes, and then set it off.
If you buy a foreclosure, buy a debt that's already created. Don't create and do debt. Just look for a bank foreclosure and purchase that. You stand in their position and pay for it with your birth certificate.
Yeah, but then you got a house and you're purchasing a title too when you do it that way.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're getting a warranty deed. You don't know the whole story. I'm just telling you part of it. But I'm in a house now where I got a bank foreclosure. I ain't paid now a penny for it. Ain't it the truth, Willie?
That's true.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Okay, well, give me your number so I can call you tomorrow.
Have you purchased any?
I want to go buy one too.
I'm serious because I'm homeless. I'm homeless. I've been homeless for a month.
Well, there ain't no need to be homeless. All these banks foreclosure, and you the living man. Banks can't own property. That's a corporation. You living.
I hear you, but at the end of
what's
the day,
the problem?
When you talk to them, they're oblivious to what it is we're trying to achieve. So you look stupid and crazy to them.
Okay, that's because you ain't got the right words. That's all.
Hey, and you ain't got no debate there, never. I already know that. I already know it.
Did you have to do a 1099-A, miss, with getting your house, the foreclosure or anything? An acquisition? No.
No.
You use a UCC to do it?
Yeah, you got to have UCC 3.
That's what I thought. I thought you was going to say that.
And I tell you how I sandwiched it. And it's over them people's head, even the realtor.
Well, if you can buy a house, then you can buy anything that way.
Exactly. Tell him, Steve. You could put your car in the UCC 3. Yep.
Yeah, I want to go buy a car that way or go buy an airplane or something.
Exactly.
Can you post your method on how you did that somewhere? Or email it to me since I put my email address on the call?
Oh, yeah, my email address is V like Victor, ERDELL, JW@yahoo.com.
Verdell, JWA@yahoo.
Yeah.
Did you say Victor, Romeo, and then J like Jack and whiskey?
That's Verdell.
Man, I can do this like
Bird. Okay, VER or VR?
VERDELL. Dale.
DELL. Okay. Verdell.
Yeah,
Verdell JW at
yahoo.com.
Okay.
JWA@yahoo.com.
So you're saying the UCC3, but you have your one on file first, correct? Because the 3 is the limit.
Right.
I never learned how to do the UCC1 correct.
Yeah, it's a million ways to do that. You right about that, Steve, man.
I was too scared to try it. I don't want to, like there's some people go to jail for doing it wrong.
The UCCs we did, mine expired, next month?
Yeah, so they good for 5 years.
That's right, for 5 years, yeah. I did like
Hey, Tom, is the young lady that verified that the funds were in the account in San Juan for a vehicle purchase, is she still around? Is she still with the group?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tom, is all this still being recorded?
No.
Well, that sucks.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Oh.
So is it still being recorded or not?
I don't know. I don't hear no.
Yes, it's still being recorded.
Great. Thanks, man.
The light company, I did a 1099A with the light company.
Yeah.
And I did a negotiable instrument. You know, like the bill of exchange, you make your own checks.
Oh.
And they don't have routing numbers at the bottom of them, but I did have the account number on there. And I had Puerto Rico. I got it in Spanish. I had the Puerto Rico address on there and the telephone number, so they can call to verify. Well, anyway, JEA called down there today, and they said that there was no funds in our money. They didn't say it wasn't any funds available, but they said there was no U.S. funds money available. So JEA took it as if there was no money in the account. I told her like it was on the private side that it wouldn't be no money, it's only credit. But JEA said they wanted dollar bills, not credit. She wasn't understanding. Because when I did it in May, I got $743 with 743 credits, which turned into dollars with JEA. And then what I did, I messed up when I asked JEA to send me a $500 check. I turned it into cash for my pocket, and I shouldn't have did that.
I got you. I'm glad you clarifying it because it makes it when people go back and listen to this, initially I was thinking that you sent in the 1099 as Patrick suggested, and the people sent you a frivolous filing. But when you get more into the story, into what occurred, it was more to it than that. And
Right. You have to hear the whole story.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, but the 1099A do work. The negotiable instrument don't work. I tried it both ways. I did it both ways. I wanted to see which one worked quicker.
Yeah.
So the
1099A. Sometimes you do that. I understand.
Yeah, the 1099A come from the fidelity, which is the insurance policy that Patrick was talking about. Now, that's true, because the lady verified that today. She said those $743 came from fidelity.
Wow. Wow.
And she told me, she said, don't do it the way you did it the second time. She said, now we can help you if you continue to do it the way you did the first time. That's why I was asking Patrick, can you do a 1099A every month?
For your utility bill, though. For your utility bill.
They don't want you, IRS don't want you to do it every month. They want you to do enough so you have credits on the book. But don't get hungry like
Gotcha.
Don't get hungry like me and call up there and ask for your credit because you need cash in your pocket. You see what I'm saying? You need to leave enough on your books so you can continue to pay your bills, your water bill, your light bill like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you Yasha, YAHSHA? Is that correct? I couldn't read my own. I don't know if it was SHA or SHU. YAHSHU or SHA? The guy that I'm going to send the email to, what's his name? Do you guys know his name? Drew or something?
He's still there, I think.
Oh.
He's
Are you
still
there?
Yeah,
is it YAHSHA? YAHSHA.
Yasharoon.
Oh, okay. Yasharoon. Oh, Rune. Okay. So it's A-R-U-N. Yeah, R-U-N. Okay, I hope it goes there. Yasharoon. Okay. Yasharoon at Yahoo. Okay. I found my document, so you'll be getting it.
All right, then
And
y'all
what's
have
the
a good
lady's
night.
name? What? Oh, your name's Dell or something. I got you.
Yeah, Verdell.
Verdell, right?
Like
Okay.
Dell Computers.
Yeah.
Verdell.
I'll put your address down too.
VerdellCW@yahoo.com.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So do you want me to put your first name in or anything?
That's fine, Verdell.
No, I mean the other guy.
Joshua.
Yeah, Drew. I thought it was Drew. Oh, right.
Drew, I'll send you some information in reference to the house. And what state you say you in, Joshua?
I'm Steve. I'm in California.
Oh. That real estate high there. Wow.
Yeah, but he can get it free.
Yeah, I know. That real estate is high.
Oh, okay.
Verdell?
Okay.
Verdell, she's still on.
So we're finished now. Can I pull it to a close and
Well, I was gonna ask Verdell exactly how she went about getting the house, the foreclosure. What all paperwork she filed.
Well, still here.
She's gonna post it on the Skype group, I think.
Oh, okay.
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 Very good. Then I'll turn off the recording and turn down the conference and post up the call.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you later.